Go. All right. And welcome to How to Build a Brand with Personality Using Archetypes. This is a fabulous topic, one that I'm hugely passionate about, and of course, absolutely love to death. So, it's something that I feel is a unique way to bring personality to brands to really set them apart from all the bland that we're seeing in the world today. And when I talk about bland, I'm talking about a lot of stuff that's coming out of Canva, where everyone's using the same templates. They're all using these muted, beautiful color palettes, but they really don't bring the essence of the human into the brand. So, a little bit about me. Hi, my name is Debbie O'Connor, also known as Debbie O. I am a brand strategist by profession and a graphic designer by trade, or I could also say an ex-graphic designer by trade, because I actually sold my branding studio that I had for 22 years. I sold it in June 2024. And so for 22 years, I ran this branding studio. And what I found was happening a lot is that people were coming to me saying, Deb, I need help with branding, and then would proceed to talk to me only about getting a logo designed. And so I realized that there was this misunderstanding of what branding is. A lot of people simply thought that it was about getting a logo, slapping it on everything, and that's your branding done. But branding is so much more than just the logo. It really is, at its core, at its essence, it's about your reputation. And that is what you're wanting to build out with a brand. So yes, a logo is important because as a person, how you dress, how you talk, how you behave, that is all part of your reputation. And the same goes for your business, your logo, your colors, your fonts, how your team dresses, how they interact with people. All of that is all part of your brand. And so what happened was I tried to think about, how am I going to educate my customer to understand that there's a lot more to branding than simply the logo. And so I went back to my university days and I studied, as part of my Bachelor of Fine Arts, where I majored in graphic design, I also studied industrial psychology and philosophy. And so I thought, okay, well, if I can bring the consumer behavior side into the branding side of things, how do I mesh that? And that is when I decided to use Carl Jung's 12 archetypes and build out a system where we can identify what personality a brand is. And I use a word association system to do this. So that's a little bit about me. I am now a bit of a free agent, and my whole dream now is to educate other creatives in how to build out a brand using archetypes and personality. So who is this for? Basically, this particular system that I'm going to be talking about now is for brand strategists, graphic designers, copywriters, photographers, videographers, marketers, social media managers, and even business coaches. This is for them to be able to use this system in their business to engage their clients. So let's go through very quickly, what are archetypes? Because a lot of people hear the term archetype, they don't understand what it is, and they get a little bit overwhelmed by it because it's not a term that is used a lot. Now, I need to first and foremost say that I did not come up with these 12 archetypes, right? Carl Jung, a psychologist and philosopher in the early 1900s, studied hundreds and thousands of different personalities, and he determined that there were these 12 key archetypes that kept popping up. They are there all the time. And the amazing thing about these archetypes, or as I like to call them, personalities, is that we already know them. They sit in our unconscious bias. They are there, that we already intrinsically, regardless of your culture, your language, where you live, we actually already know and understand these. So we see these archetypes pitching up in the Bible, in stories passed down from father to son, stories told around the campfire, fairy tales that we tell our kids, and in all the movies that we watch today. So let me give you an example. If I were to say to you, a young, innocent girl, a strong, brave man, a powerful CEO, or a wise old woman, I bet you've conjured up in your mind not only what these people look like, but also the personality traits that go with them. And I can guarantee you right here, right now, that that innocent young girl does not have short, black, spiky hair, covered in tattoos, walking down the street, kicking over bins and swearing at people, right? Your brain is going, no, no, that's not the right persona. But if I say to you, that is the rebel, you go, oh, yeah, no, I totally get that. That makes perfect sense. And so, if we're able to use these same characteristics for your brand as we would do for a human, we now start to humanize your brand, which makes you far more connected. So, what we look at is the 12 Jungian archetypes. So, these are ones that most people know and understand. But I have been working with archetypes for well over a decade, about 15 years now. And what I know is that there are nuances to all different personalities. So I've actually come up with 6 additional family members just to create a little bit more wiggle room and leeway when we're building out these brands. So this gives us a total of 84 personalities to work from. And I actually wrote a book that I published 2 years ago called Brand Magic: How to Build a Brand with Personality, which I've put all of these 84 archetypes into as well. So one of the things that we want to be able to do is utilize this toolkit to be able to build out brands with personality. So, what we're finding at the moment is that for a lot of creatives or people working in branding, is that there is a little bit of a struggle. There is a struggle at the moment. Oh, sorry. There is a struggle at the moment with bringing in new leads, getting quality work in, getting people who are going to value what we're doing as creatives. And with the advent of AI, this is going to become more and more prevalent, because if we have seen bland brands coming out through Canva, we're going to see more of that happening with AI, because people are just going to be putting in their prompts, getting images, getting logos, getting whatever, but there's actually no strategy behind it. So really what we need to do is make sure that we're ahead of the curve. We're going to be offering something like this strategy system where we're using psychology. We're doing something that AI can't do. We're actually going to be problem solving this for our clients. And hopefully this will take us out from this feast or famine that a lot of creatives endure, to something that's a little bit more stable, where we're able to charge more because we're adding strategy to our tool belt, and we're able to connect with our customer a lot more, give them a better outcome, which also results in them being happier, and hopefully they're going to refer people a lot more as well. So why should we use archetypes to build our brands? Well, firstly, we need to elevate our service offering. With all this competition coming in, we need to make sure that we are delivering something that is unique, something that is different, something that is going to set us apart from all the cowboys out there. Because these days, if somebody has a phone and they have a Canva account, they either consider themselves to be a professional photographer or a graphic designer, right? And now with ChatGPT, they are full-blown copywriters as well. But we know that a lot of these people don't have the education behind them. They don't have the experience behind them. And yet businesses are putting their livelihoods in the hands of these inexperienced people. So we need to elevate our service offering here. We need to separate ourselves from the masses, because there are so many people churning out the same the whole time. And we really need to be different. So when it comes to branding, you don't have to be the best at anything, but you do have to be different. And that is what's going to make you unique in the whole space. We also have to have, being able to offer strategy means that we can be a lot more credible, because when you offer strategy, there is a plan. There is something in place to go, right, this is why we are doing everything that we're doing. This is why we're choosing these colors, these fonts. This is why we've got this particular language and tone. This is why you stand with your hands on your hips in a photograph rather than your hand on your chin, right? All of these nuances will help define and bring out a brand for our customers. And being able to have that strategy in place means that all the way through, from every single touch point that they have in their business, there is a reason why you do things the way that you do it. All right. And then we want to be able to work more effectively. Because let me tell you, as a creative, there are so many different ways we can skin a cat. However, if we have a beautiful framework in place where the client knows that they are the neighbor, or they are the hero, or they are the ruler, it means that we have a structure in place to go, right, we now need to build out this brand with particular colors in mind that bring out the neighbor personality or the hero personality, particular fonts, particular language and tone, how people are going to dress, how they're going to interact, how do they answer their phone, how do they respond to emails, how do they put their copy on their website, how does their website function, what kind of features do they have there on their website to bring across all these different elements. Now, I mean, there are so many different choices that you can go through. However, if there's a framework and the client knows about this framework and they understand that every step of the way every step has been taken and decisions have been made because of their personality, it keeps your client focused. It keeps your client on board. And instead of them going off on a tangent, trying to follow the next shiny thing, it gives them something to actually fit within. And we all like structure. And this kind of structure means that consistency is going to work well, but it means that we're going to work more efficiently because we don't have to come up with all of the different solutions under the sun. We have a framework in which to work from. So we'll work a lot quicker. And then we're going to have these better results because we're going to be creating brands with personality. But not just that, our clients are going to understand these different personalities as well. So it means that when you hand over the brand to the client, which is always a scary part for the brand builder, because you never know what your client's going to do with that. When you have this in place, and you've got a better result for your client and they understand what personality or archetype their brand is, it is so much easier for them to follow on and create consistency with their brand. And of course, when you put all of these things together and you're charging more for strategy and you're able to give your client a lot more, you're working more effectively, spending less time and more brain power, you are obviously going to be more profitable because you're not wasting time doing work that you don't need to be doing. All right, so let's look at how we're going to unveil a client's brand personality. So this part is the part that is actually the easiest because we've set up an entire system to make it easy for you as a client. Now, what you need to keep in mind first and foremost is that it's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. And this is a really important piece of the puzzle to understand clearly from the get-go. And let me give you an example, is that here we've got Steve Jobs and we've got Bill Gates. Both of them are tech giants, right? Both of them develop technology for us to be able to use in our lives to make our lives easier. They're doing the same thing. However, when it comes to Steve Jobs, he is what we call the magician. He's the visionary. He's inspiring. He is that catalyst for change. He can see the possibilities where everybody else sees impossibilities. Steve Jobs changed the way we communicate today. He put a computer in our hand, which we now call smartphones. But that is what Steve Jobs was able to envisage, right? Whereas we take Bill Gates, on the other hand, he is what we call, he's a combination of the sage and the ruler. Take charge, in control, efficient, productive. He's a bit of a role model. He's an expert. It's about knowledge. You know, when you look at the systems that he built out, it was more about making fantastic spreadsheets and being able to have a PC that did a lot of the hard work for you. Whereas Steve Jobs, on the other hand, was more about that creativity, about getting that vision out there. So understanding that there's a difference between what you do and how you do it. Let me give you another example, that every hairdresser does the same thing. They cut hair. Every dentist pulls teeth. Every accountant lodges tax returns. Every graphic designer designs things. So when you think in your industry that you are unique, let me tell you that you're not. If you are focusing simply on what you do and not how you do it, you're pushing a boulder uphill, because every single one of your competitors does what you do. However, not every single one of your competitors does the things how you do it. So they don't do it the same way that you do. And this is where it makes it so amazing if you're using archetypes, focusing on how you're doing things, not what you're doing. So that's a very key point about the system. Now, the easiest way to find out about your brand personality is to use online systems. So if you go to brandmagic.com.au/licensee, I'm just going to take you to that page very quickly. It's an amazing system. It is here for you to be able to use. You can actually embed our brand personality test. This test takes your clients step by step through a word association system that will allow them to find out what their personality is. And you can create a free account and you can embed this test directly onto your very own website today, right? So you can have that system there. Yes, it costs the client $39 to take the test, right? But they will be able to find out what their personality is. On the free account, you can have the test embedded on your website, no problem whatsoever. That $39 comes to us. However, if you were going to upgrade to our subscription, what that then means is that for every $39 that the client spends, you get $30 back. So really, your subscription can be next to nothing. It can actually make you money if you've got enough people going through your website and taking the test. But it also allows you to completely white label it. It means that landing pages, email results, all that type of thing is completely customizable to you and your business, so that they never actually leave your website to get any of those results. And you're able to use our IP around this as well. But for now, the easiest, quickest way is either to get people going to your website. If you don't want to embed this on your website, then what you can do is go to brandpersonalities.com, and this is where they can take the test. Now, this test is exactly the same test that is embedded on your website. It just means that they get obviously all of our content from here, and they just fill in their details and off they go, and they can find out what their brand personality is. But if you would like to have this as a tool in your business on your website, you can absolutely do that, and you can start that today. Okay, so the great thing about having this test on your website is that when you are marketing your business, you can actually push people to your website to take this test, so it can generate leads for you. It is a fantastic way to engage your clients, because when they are going through the process and they're being asked all these questions and they have to answer these questions with one-word answers, it means they have to think very deeply about their business. And if you are doing the process with them, you are going to get an insight into their business like never before. It is a fantastic way of connecting with your client. And when they understand what their brand personality is, it means that they are going to really hone in on that and stay true to their brand. Being able to add strategy to your tool belt. You can charge way more for strategy than you can for creative work. There you go. So charging more. And then if you've got enough people going to your website, so if you're on the paid subscription, you only need 3 people to take your test per month to actually make back the cost of the subscription. However, the beauty is not in the test itself. The beauty is in the work that you're able to implement after the fact. And that is where the magic lies. So we have one of our licensees, and within the first month, she brought in a new client that meant that she had paid for her license for the next 7 years. Right? So that one client meant that she could stay on the license for 7 years. It's paid for itself. So it really can be a great tool to have in your business. Okay, so now when we find out what personality the client is, how do we then go and infuse this brand personality into the actual brand? And there are a bunch of different ways. I like to use a lot of psychology in my work. So I like to use the psychology of color and that type of thing. But there are so many different things that we can do. And I want to go through a number of those today. So first and foremost, I mean, the most obvious is the visual side of things. And what I'm talking about here are things like colors, fonts, images, your packaging, things that are going to make people recognize who your brand is. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of fun here. We're going to go through a couple of different things and have a little bit of interaction happening as well. All right. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the theory of color here. So color has meaning. You know, there's a lot of psychology that is placed in color. And so here we have the color red. Now, red on one side is a very passionate color, right? It has a lot of excitement and energy and sensualism in it. But on the other side, there's also that element of danger, which can also be exciting as well. But if you understand what the color means and how it relates back as far as energy is concerned and personality is concerned, then you would make sure, for example, that if you are a hero brand or you are a ruler brand, red is a great color to be able to use. If you are an entertainer or a creator, red is great. But if you are something like a caregiver, which is a lot more soft and gentle, or a sage, where there's a lot more thinking involved, you probably wouldn't use red because there's way too much energy involved. When you've got the color yellow, yellow is the most vibrant color in the color spectrum, right? It is why yellow taxis are yellow in New York City, because it makes them stand out. Yellow can also be incredibly tiring on the eye because of the fact that it is so vibrant, but it is a happy color, right? It is the color that makes people smile. It's also a color that is used to make things feel like they're more cost effective. So you find a lot of sale items would have yellow. In Australia, we have a brand called Dick Smith. We've got another one called JB Hi-Fi, and they use black and yellow as their color to show that they have more affordable options when people are buying out technology. But vibrant colors like this, I mean, happy colors would work so well with the creator, with the entertainer, with the innocent. And of course, depending on what kind of yellow you're using would determine which brand you're going to use it with. Then we have blue. Now, blue is one of those colors that most men absolutely love. True blue, right? It's down to earth. It is reliable. But the darker the blue, the more authority is attached to it. So you find men, you know, going into the city in their suits will often have blue suits. You know, the authority of a police officer. And the lighter the blue, the more cool and calm it actually gets. And it can become a little bit cold and a little bit icy. So you need to make sure that you're choosing the right type of blue for your brand. So when you're picking what type of blue, you would also look at what type of personality as well. All right. Then we have green. Now, green is such a growth color, a go color. Green is that color that is used to imply, energy, or a lot of sustainability is used a lot with green. But the other side of green, the more yellow that is put in green, the little bit more evil and sickly it can look and feel. So choosing your green, once again, if you've got that deep forest MG green, it's great for a ruler or a sage, but a bright, vibrant lime green will be a lot better for an entertainer or a creator. All right, let's have a little bit of fun going through these. What brand do you think this is? Quickly in the chat, what do you think? Yeah, okay. iPhone, Apple, iPhone. Yes, absolutely. So just by the shape of the phone, you're able to tell what brand it is. Remember, we're looking here about how visually you can start connecting people to your brand. Okay, next one. Let's go with this one. What's this? All right, in the chat. Yeah. Yep, BMW. Absolutely. What about this one? Macca's, McDonald's. Yeah, for sure. And this one? Oh, this one, everyone. Now, this is just a little box. Here, I'm just showing you a box. But this color, Tiffany, yep, this color tells you immediately exactly what the brand is. So you can see visually, you can have these cues that connect people back to the brand. What about this one? Coca-Cola. Yeah. All right. So this is the psychology-based branding that we use to build out brands visually. And if I have a course on this, but I'm going to show you a little bit later how you can get this course completely for free, okay? But if you want to watch the psychology of branding course, you can head to brandpersonalities.com and go to the course tab, and you'll be able to access it there as well. All right, the next thing what we want to look at is your brand voice. This is language and tone, and it really is connected back to your personality. So here we go. Let's try this again. What brand is this one? Yeah, you guys are fast. Okay, just do it. This is Nike. So just do it. There are no airs and graces about this. This is going, we are cheering you on. We are going to make sure that you're going to achieve your goals. Just do it, right? There is language, there's power, there's tone behind it. What about this one? Have a break. Yeah, there we go. Have a Kit Kat. For sure. So they are able to use their slogans into their brand to make people remember and realize what their brands are. Okay, here's another one. This is for Australians. The burgers are better at. Okay, we've got some Australians here. So Hungry Jacks, absolutely. Okay, so now what I wanted to do is show you how you can apply personality to something as simple as a sign-up form. So here we have an example of somebody signing up to a newsletter. 9 very good reasons to subscribe to Copy Hackers for $0. And here they go through all 9 reasons, right? And then people sign up. Now, this is what we would typically call the sage personality. And the reason why it's the sage is because it's all about knowledge and information and giving you all the information you need. Sage people would love this. They would want to know all of the 9 reasons, right? And because they want to know exactly what they're going to get and all the different bits and pieces. So this is very much what we'd show as an example for the sage personality. This one, however, emails suck, ours don't. Down to earth, practical, dependable, right? Just simple. Let's get weird. By clicking the button, you'll blah, 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 right? This is what we would call the neighbor brand personality example, because it's down to earth, it's practical, no airs and graces. What you see is what you get, right? There's nothing here that's making you have to read a whole lot of stuff. It's simply, are you in or are you out? Then, of course, we have the Rebel. And this is a brand, I absolutely love it. Good fucking design advice. They're amazing. But here they say, only the bold need apply. Sign up to receive our profane advice delivered bi-weekly to your inbox, right? And then down at the bottom, it says, no thanks. I don't want your stupid fucking emails clogging up my virgin inbox. So here they are using profanity. They are using their brand to its best ability here, making sure that the people that are signing up are people who are going to love their stuff, but the people who are not signing up are not going to love it at all. They're never going to follow them. They're never going to be clients. So why have them sign up to the newsletter? And this is a great example of the rebel personality. So I hope you can see how through your language and tone, you're able to start infusing personality into these brands. And then, of course, we have brand culture. And this is about how do you treat people? Because how you treat people is what they remember, right? So if we look at a brand like Google, I mean, just this image tells you that this is Google. Google is one of those places that people want to work because of the culture of the brand, because of the fact that they have flexible work options. They might have a slide in their office. They've got these little hubs and cubes. They provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They encourage people to work on their own projects. They have such a great culture within the brand that it makes people want to work with them, but it also makes people want to then buy their products and be part of that whole process. This one, I mean, just by looking at this, I think you can tell that this is Virgin, right? Virgin is a rebel brand personality. And you can see here, just in this particular image, about how they are being inclusive. They're going, we don't care if you are straight, gay, trans, whatever. We don't mind if you want to wear a skirt or you want to wear pants, as long as you fit in with how this brand is working. And so as a rebel brand personality, I mean, even the name Virgin, right, back in the 80s was taboo, but they have been able to bring this across in everything that they're doing to make people feel that they are part of a bigger process, something that is bigger than just getting on a flight and going from A to B. All right. So then brand experience. It's about how memorable are you going to be? You have so many opportunities these days, touch points with your customer. How are you going to make yourself memorable each and every time? So we all know when you go to Apple, you book in at the Genius Bar. There are people there with their T-shirts on, they're there to help, they're all quite cool and trendy. The whole experience of going to an Apple store has become famous. Even their unboxing of a product. I mean, it's one of those boxes that you tend to hold on to and keep in case you need to ever put your product back in the box, right? But they have created such an experience from the moment you walk through the store to getting your white bag, to unboxing your product and getting it set up. Everything is streamlined and made to make everything feel so easy and make you feel like you've got something super cool in your hands. And then we take something like Disney. Now, I don't know if any of you have been to Disneyland, Disney World, but you cannot go there and not be happy. It's like the happiest place on earth, which is one of their slogans, right? It's about bringing out this wonder and amazement, taking people into this entire world that's been created from fantasy. It has turned this vision into life. And so here, as a magician brand personality, Disney has created an experience unlike any other in the world. It is just incredible. And then we need our clients to be able to maintain their branding. And so when a client understands exactly what their brand is all about, this is where you hit pay dirt. And I want to show a couple of videos from clients of mine when I had my branding studio that I thought you might really enjoy and see how they truly get the understanding of what a brand is about.
Hi, I'm Tamika Hayden from the Research Impact Academy. My business is a consulting service that helps researchers and research organisations to create, communicate and capture their impact from the research they're doing. So making a difference in society. So before working out my brand personality, I was one of these people who I was always ending up changing things depending on what I felt like at the time. So choosing colours based on how I was feeling, choosing fonts based on how I felt that day. So I ended up with this real mishmash of different colours and different styles, and there was no consistency. And then I had to try and remember what I had before and go back and check things. So it ended up being quite messy. Going through and doing the brand personalities gave me a lot of real kind of moments where I thought, okay, I get it now. I know what I'm doing. And it really helped me to gain a lot of clarity. It helped me to think about the specific direction and something that I could stick to. So going through this has really helped me to know the personality of my brand, and it's helping me to really maintain a consistent style, consistent look and feel. It's helped me to choose appropriate images, to decide on even the wording I use, and even changed how I'm showing up to provide services to my clients. It's had the added benefit for me. It's attracted a lot of customers because I now have that brand recognition. And ultimately, it's helped me to grow my business. I think it's been 2 years since I rebranded, and I really have been doing this. And my business has gone from strength to strength. I couldn't be happier. I now have a lot of consistency across all of my marketing, my social media, and all the services I provide. My brand is the magician. And now whenever I turn up anywhere, or whenever I write an email, or every single day, I'm thinking, how can I bring the magic today?
Well, I hope that has demonstrated to you that the brand archetypes are a really fantastic platform in which for you to build out a brand with personality. And as luck would have it, I have the Brand Archetype Academy starting on the 3rd of March. And because you were registered for this webinar, I have a very special offer for you. However, it does finish at 5 p.m. on Friday, Sydney time. Added to that, we do have a payment plan option as well. So you can stagger those payments too. The other thing that I'm offering, because you were registered, is a number of extra bonuses on top of that. So I mentioned to you psychology-based branding course that I have. So you will get free access to the course. You'll also get free access to how to build a brand that your clients will fall in love with. So that's another short course that you can do. And then the 4 Ps of branding course. So you will get 3 additional courses on top of all of the academy stuff. And then you will also get a signed copy of my Amazon #1 best-selling book, Brand Magic: How to Build a Brand with Personality. You will also get a copy of the Brand Magic workbook, which has over 18 worksheets in it that will help you build out brands for your clients, and you're able to use all of those worksheets. And of course, a 30-minute call with me to look at where your brand is currently right now, where your business is sitting, where you've got holes, what you want to do, what kind of vision you have to build out your brand building business to be able to connect with your clients more. So this is the Brand Archetype Academy. And in the academy for 30 days, we dive deep into all of the different personalities. We go through 84 of them, broken up into the 12 main Jungian archetypes, and we look at how you can infuse personality into the brand using all of the 5 senses. We've got examples of both business brands and personal brands. We have partnered with Michael Edwards and his fragrance wheel, so you can actually pick a specific scent that is going to become your signature scent for your brand, and that relates back to your personality. And of course, we look at how you can identify, engage your clients, connect them, how you can use the system in your business so easily and effortlessly as well. And included in that, on a weekly basis, I will do group coaching with everybody to give them extra hints and tips as how I've been able to use brand personalities in my branding business that I was able to sell in June 2024. So this is about being able to connect you with a community of like-minded people who also want to use archetypes, and then be able to get you out there if you complete the multiple choice test at the end and you pass all of that. You will get a badge saying that you are brand archetype accredited, which shows that you are an expert in this area and you are able to command more pay for the strategy that you are able to give your clients. So if you're interested in taking up the special offer, head to brandarchetypeacademy.com. If you sign up before Friday at 5 p.m., you will get all of these extra bonuses. So I would like to thank you for your time today. Really, really appreciate it. You can follow along on our social media. We're very active on Instagram and Facebook, Brand Magic 101, or you can follow me personally, which is Debbie O'Brands. And I will be doing a couple of lives and a few different things. Come along to those. They'll all be through Instagram as well. And I would love to see you in the academy. Let's see how in 30 days we can literally change how you do business and get you making a lot more money in a lot more of an engaging way with your customers.